Chinese State Council and Foreign Minister Wang Yi has concluded a three-day trip to Egypt. Wang met with Egyptian President Abdel, Fattah, El-Sisi and Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh, Shoukry. His talks focused on boosting cooperation between Egypt and China in all fields. Wang Yi is on a Middle East tour that ends in Algeria on Tuesday. Here's Abdel with more.
Wang Yi concluded a three-day visit to Egypt's New Alamein city on Monday. There, he met with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi to discuss developing ties between the two nations. This year, Egypt and China are celebrating the 65th anniversary of the establishment of their diplomatic ties.
I appreciate the comprehensive strategic partnership between us, which participated in providing qualitative transformation and a leap between us in all fields, especially during the past 7 years. We look forward to more support from China, our friendly nation, to Egypt's stance in the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, based on the existing strategic relations and the importance of the issue of Egypt's existence to reach a fair solution for all involved parties.
Egypt expressed its desire to open more opportunities to export agricultural products to China and increase Chinese foreign direct investments in Egypt. The talks tackled how both countries can help in establishing stability in the Middle East and counter terrorism. In that regard, Wang announced that Egypt will be a dialogue partner in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a body concerned with battling extremism.
We see Egypt as the most significant, comprehensive, strategic partner in the Arab world, the Islamic world, African and developing nations. We are very keen to develop our relations with Egypt. Our ties have yielded fruitful results, especially during COVID-19 pandemic. We've provided support in a spirit of one team, which formed a model for developing nations. Our cooperation in this field is a new significant step in our ties.
Wang Yi and the Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry signed an agreement to establish a government cooperation committee to lead the development in relations both nations seek. The Chinese Foreign Minister's final meeting in New Alamein was with the Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abdel. They discussed cooperation in regional conflicts, on top of which the Palestinian crisis. Wang Yi's visit solidifies the comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries. Hosting it here in this Mediterranean city is yet another indication that Egypt is keen to include China in its mega national projects that would help in boosting its economy. Adel, CGTN, New Alamein, Egypt.
Well, for more on that, joining me now is Professor Alam Ahmed. He is the director at the Middle Eastern Knowledge Economy Institute. Thank you so much for joining us. In your assessment, what has been the significance of this latest visit to Egypt by China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi?
Thank you very much. It's extremely significant if we look at the most important devastating thing across the whole world, which is COVID-19 global pandemic. This visit, during the visit yesterday on Sunday, it's the first production facilities to be launched for COVID vaccine, the Chinese vaccine. Yesterday, I think the information or the detail we've been told is 1 million doses. That in itself, in this particular time of this global pandemic, is extremely significant because vaccine means life. It's a completely change of landscape in terms of the relationship. Also, we need to be reminded this is the second visit within less than 6 months, which can tell you about how important the relationship is being developing between Egypt and China.
Professor, what are the key benefits of enhancing bilateral ties between China and Egypt?
Very important question. China and Egypt have reached quite a very deep level of relationship. We're talking about not just the vaccine production, which as I just mentioned, but they were talking about technology, infrastructure project. We're talking about two countries supporting each other as the international diplomatic dialogue in terms of not intervening in each other's affairs, supporting their own cause. We're talking about data security projects China is proposing for Egypt. We're talking about China already confirmed to Egypt that the Shanghai Cooperation, for example, organization accepting Egypt to be a dialogue partner. We're talking about the Egyptian statement of President El-Sisi last year. If you remember, he said there is a pivotal role of China in the stability of the Middle East. So Egypt is seeing China as a critical partner in the stability of the Middle East. Also, Egypt is being seen by the Chinese as the most important, one of the most important partners in Africa, as an African country. In the Arab countries, as Arab country is also being seen one of the most important countries as the developing countries, but also as the Middle Eastern Africa. So there is quite a lot of things going on now here. The relationship, as I said, is being talking about many things, including technology, infrastructure, capacity. Even the Chinese now, somehow or another, they've been well briefed by President Sisi about the recent development in the dam, in the issues between Egypt and Ethiopia and Sudan. And the Chinese have confirmed their support of Egypt, usage of the water of the river. So it's quite significant. The relationship is really quite deep now.
Professor, speak to us about how the rest of Africa can gain from China's partnership as the continent battles the coronavirus pandemic.
There is much they can gain. Africa, I'm not saying it's being neglected, it's being supported. Yes, we have seen, for example, AstraZeneca vaccine reaching Africa, but it's not in a large amount of doses. The fact now we have a production in Al-Alamein in Egypt producing or reaching a production level of 1 million doses a day. That's significant because don't forget, Egypt is the gateway to the entire Africa and the Arab countries. I was also very pleased to see that even China is helping Palestine and so on. But for African countries, if you remember last year, 50 delegates from all African ministers and diplomats have visited China's leading Sinopharm, which is the Chinese leading vaccine, human vaccine R&D, which is, I think, number 5 in the whole world. And at that point, things have been going on for many months. But China's interest in supporting African countries has been long. And also China has been seen as a very close, as the President El-Sisi sometimes call it, or some African presidents call it, a genuine development partner. They don't see it like the Americans want to intervene in their affairs, but they see China as their genuine development partner. And China's stance in Africa has been very clear. And I think that's where the Africans are now looking to really quickly benefit from this remarkable production of vaccine inside Africa. I think Egypt is the first country where this production is taking place. And I really looking forward to see the entire African continents or countries are benefiting as quick as possible from this vaccination.
Thank you so much for all that, Professor Alam Ahmed. He is the director at the Middle Eastern Knowledge Economy Institute.